afternoon. I call this meeting of the Michigan Public Service Commission to order on July 18th at 1:32 p.m. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Tallberg.
Present.
Commissioner Sari.
Present.
Commissioner Scripps.
Present.
Madam Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, first up, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Madam Chair, move approval of the agenda for today's commission meeting. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The agenda is approved. Item 2, if there's a motion to approve the meeting minutes of the regular commission meeting of July 2nd, 2019.
Madam Chair, move approval of the minutes of the regular commission meeting of July 2nd, 2019. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The meeting minutes are approved. Next up, item 3, we have approval of orders on the consent agenda. And today the commission is assisted by Attorney Alyssa Day and staff.
Good afternoon. Today's consent agenda consists of 2 communication matters, 2 electric matters, and 3 gas matters that are listed on item 3 of today's agenda. The proposed orders for each of these matters have been thoroughly vetted by the Commission's technical and legal staffs and are ready for your approval.
Madam Chair, move approval of all orders and minute action on today's consent agenda. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The orders are approved.
Item 4A1 is case number U17377, which involves implementation of the provisions of Public Act 95 of 2013. The order before you adopts the funding factor for the Low Income Energy Assistance Fund for 2019 through 2020.
Madam Chair, move approval of order U17377. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. The order is approved.
Item 4A2 is case number U17473, which involves an application filed by Consumers Energy Company for approval of the company's annual true-up of securitization surcharges for the billing months of August 2019 through July 2020. The order before you approves the new securitization surcharges.
Madam Chair, I move approval of order U17473. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The order is approved.
Item 4A3 is case number U18232, which involves applications by DTE Energy Company seeking approval of its renewable energy plan and ex parte approval of its build transfer contracts related to the Isabella 1, Isabella 2, and Fairbanks wind projects. Staff member Meredith Hadala is here to describe this order.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chairman and Commissioners. My name is Meredith Hadala, and I'm a member of the Renewable Energy Section in the Energy Resources Division here at the Public Service Commission. On March 29, 2018, DTE Electric Company filed its application for Commission approval of its renewable energy plan. The plan maintains a $0 renewable energy surcharge and ensures that the company will not accrue a regulatory asset by the year 2029. DTE's plan shows that the company is compliant with the renewable energy credits requirements under Act 295 and will be through the end of the plan period. DTE proposes to achieve renewable energy credit compliance through company-owned, competitively bid, and commission-approved renewable generation. DTE seeks authorization of 1,456 megawatts of company-owned wind generation and 77 megawatts of company-owned solar generation by 2022. The plan also includes 2 pilot solar programs paired with battery storage, microgrid technology, and/or electric vehicle charging, totaling less than 15 megawatts. The plan also provides modeling for over 300 megawatts of new wind capacity for the company's voluntary green pricing program. DTE's plan also includes a mechanism to refund overcollections associated with a renewable energy surcharge approved in case number U-13808. The refund of more than $1.4 million originated from a meter charge that was approved and subsequently reversed. This refund was inadvertently omitted from DTE's rate case. Additionally, on May 7, 2019, DTE filed applications for ex parte review and approval of the Isabella Wind Farm's build transfer contracts. These applications included Isabella 1 at 197 megawatts and Isabella 2 at 186 megawatts. These wind farms will supply energy for the company's large customer voluntary green pricing pilot program and will be located in Isabella County. DTE has 6 full-service customers subscribed to this pilot. commercial operation for the Isabella Wind Farms will be on or before November 1st, 2020. On June 18th, 2019, DTE filed an additional application requesting ex parte approval of a build transfer contract for Fairbanks Wind Park. Approval of this contract would allow DTE to advance construction of 72.45 megawatts of the total 225 megawatts of the Fairbanks Wind Park proposed for construction in 2021. The advanced construction of the 72.45 megawatt portion of the wind park has an expected commercial operation date of October 2020 and will allow the company to take advantage of 100% federal production tax credit. The Fairbanks Wind Park, located in Delta County, will first be used for RPS compliance, and if needed, a portion of the generation will be used to supply the large customer voluntary green pricing program. The order before you finds that near-term company-owned wind projects that will qualify for 100% of the federal tax credit should be approved due to the anticipated significant savings that would benefit ratepayers. However, with respect to company-owned wind that is projected to be built farther out in the plan period and will not qualify for the full tax credit, the order finds that there is insignificant evidence to approve this portion of the proposed renewable energy plan. The order defers a final determination on this aspect of the plan until it issues a final order in DTE's Integrated Resource Plan in April 2020. The order also approves the wind contract submitted by DTE. In regard to higher installed costs associated with Fairbanks, DTE is to report in this docket on cost changes associated with the project, and costs will be examined for reasonableness and prudence in the corresponding reconciliation proceeding. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, move approval of Order U18232.
Second.
And Commissioner Scripps?
Thank you, Madam Chair. As we consider this partial approval, including the approval of these specific wind projects, I wanted to provide some additional context and details on today's order. The legislature's 2016 reforms to Michigan's energy laws contain a number of provisions designed to encourage renewable energy deployment in Michigan, including increasing the state's renewable energy standard, setting a goal of achieving 35% of Michigan's electric needs from a combination of energy waste reduction and renewable energy, and establishing a new voluntary green pricing program, among others. The legislature also established a new integrated resource planning process to identify the most reasonable and prudent plan to meet each utility's projected 5, 10, and 15-year load obligations. Under the revised statutes, utilities are to continue to file renewable energy plans for commission review, as well as these new integrated resource plans. In DTE's renewable energy plan, at issue here, the company only invited build transfer arrangements as part of the request for proposals, where ownership would transfer to DTE upon the project being placed in service. While DTE is correct that there is no continuing requirement that non-utility developers are able to own 50% of the renewable resources, DTE continues to bear the burden of proving their plan, including the proposed ownership, is reasonable and prudent. In this case, the Commission is not convinced that it is, particularly given our past findings that since the Renewable Portfolio Standard was established in 2008, for every year in which there were both utility-owned projects and power purchase agreements, the weighted average cost of the purchased power agreements was lower than the utility-owned projects in that respective year. As such, there is concern that DTE's decision to only invite build transfer project proposals, where DTE would ultimately own the generation assets, will result in higher costs for ratepayers. However, utility regulation does not happen in a vacuum. While we may have preferred a more impartial and open solicitation process for the specific wind projects proposed, we are also aware of the sensitivity of wind development given the pending expiration of the federal production tax credit. These timing issues lead us to conclude that a set of near-term projects, the Isabella 1 and 2 project and the Fairbanks Wind Park, will result in savings to ratepayers. And as such, we are today approving the part of DTE's renewable energy plan as it pertains to those projects that qualify for the full federal PTC, and also approving the specific projects as consistent with that part of the approved plan. For the elements of the plan that are connected to future projects, however, we are deferring consideration of future renewable energy projects to the company's IRP, as noted by Ms. Adala. This will allow the Commission to more fully evaluate these projects within the broader context of an IRP and ensure that the projects and associated costs reflect the most reasonable and prudent means of meeting the utility's energy and capacity needs. In effect, then, this approval represents a partial approval or an approval with changes. Under the statutory provisions governing this section, the Commission is charged with approving with any changes consented to by the electric provider or rejecting the utilities plan. As such, we're directing DTE to submit within 14 days of this order a statement in this docket that it agrees with the changes to its renewable energy plan as contained in this order. If DTE does not consent to the changes, it shall file a revised renewable energy plan in this docket no later than November 1st of this year. Failure to agree to the changes shall void the partial approval of DTE's renewable energy plan, and as a result, the specific wind contracts for Isabella 1 and 2 and the Fairbanks Wind Park would not be consistent with an approved renewable plan, and our approval of those contracts would therefore also be voided. Finally, I'd note that there are also provisions in the 2016 reforms that create opportunities for shared savings between utilities and their customers. As we continue to move forward in this transition, these provisions can help ensure alignment between shareholder and customer interests. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I would just add that I think our approach, I agree with all of what you said, and the certainty provided in being able to move forward with these new near-term developments makes a lot of sense for ratepayers. But I also think with technology changing so fastly, being able to quickly, that being able to adapt and look at this more holistically in the integrated resource plan makes a lot of sense. So thank you. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The order is approved.
Item 4A4 is case number U20162, which involves an application filed by DTE Electric Company for authority to increase its rates for the sale and distribution of electric energy. The order before you approves amendments to Rate Schedule D1.9.
Madam Chair, I move approval of Order U20162.
Second.
And just a comment on this. This is a follow-up tariff filing in response to the new electric vehicle pilot program that was approved in DTE's last rate case. We're excited to see that move forward and this piece fall into place. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The order is approved.
Item 4A5 is case number U20164, which involves an application filed by Consumers Energy Company requesting authority to reconcile its 2017 demand response program costs. Staff member Katie Smith is here to describe this order.
Good afternoon, Chairman Tallberg, Commissioner Sari, and Commissioner Scripps. My name is Katie Smith, and I work as an economic specialist in the Resource Adequacy and Retail Choice section of the Michigan Public Service Commission. I am also a member of the Cross-Divisional Demand Response Team. Thank you for the opportunity to present on case number U20164, Consumer Energy Company's reconciliation of its 2017 demand response costs. On September 15, 2017, the Commission issued an order in case number U18369 directing utilities to file annual reconciliations that match actual spending on demand response programs with the amounts approved in the previous general rate cases. The order also found that providers and other interested parties may propose incentives pursuant to Act 341, Section 6A13 as part of the reconciliation proceeding. On May 31, 2018, Consumers Energy filed a reconciliation of 2017 demand response costs and revenues. The Natural Resource Defense Council and Commission staff also participated in the case. This was the first reconciliation filed with the Commission related to demand response. The order before you discusses the components of the reconciliation, the first being the reconciliation period. Consumers Energy filed for a reconciliation of 2017 expenditures, and the order directs the company to amend its 2018 reconciliation filing to include capital expense and operation and maintenance amounts going back to the beginning of the program year in case number U17735, authorized in 2015. The second component to this order is a financial incentive mechanism for implementing demand response programs. The order adopts a financial incentive mechanism which ties the incentive to performance metrics. Consumers Energy will be able to earn up to 13% on operation and maintenance costs if 100% of its demand response capacity target is met. Consumers Energy could also earn an additional 2% of demand response operation and maintenance costs for assessing demand response potential in at least 5 distribution planning projects for possible non-wires alternative solutions. The final component to this order is the implementation of the financial incentive. The order adopts the financial incentive mechanism for future use and may be applied to 2019 demand response expenditures to be reconciled in 2020. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I move approval of Order U20164.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The order is approved. Thank you, Katie.
Item 4A6 is case number U20300, which involves an application by Alpena Power Company for approval of its integrated resource plan. The order before you approves a settlement agreement resolving all issues in the case.
Madam Chair, move approval of Order U20300.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The order is approved.
Item 4B1 is case number U20506, which involves an application by Residence Energy LLC for a license as an alternative gas supplier. The order before you approves the application with conditions as set forth in the order.
Madam Chair, move approval of Order U20506.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The order is approved.
Item 4B2 is case number U20568, which involves an application by Consumers Energy Company requesting a certificate of public convenience and necessity to construct and operate the I-203 well line in St. Clair County. The order before you approves the application and makes the required agency findings regarding the pipeline's environmental impact.
Madam Chair, move approval of Order U20568.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The order is approved. Next up, we have item 5, public comments. Anyone seeking to address the commission, if you want to come forward? Seeing no one? No? I have a couple of announcements. First of all, the weather is hot, and that's obvious. I just want to stress that the utilities, the regional transmission organizations, the state of Michigan are all taking proper precaution and efforts to ensure adequate power supplies during these are times when the grid can be strained by plants that trip offline and just the high demand. And so there's projections that we'll have adequate supplies and a lot of planning to prepare for days like this, and tomorrow in particular is supposed to be particularly hot and humid. The Public Service Commission also issued a press release that's on our website that just has a number of safety and energy saving tips for customers, and just a reminder to keep a lookout for people, particularly those that might be more vulnerable to heat and other weather conditions, and check on your neighbors. Lastly, and not least, we had an important announcement this week from Governor Whitmer naming a new commissioner, Tremaine Phillips, to the Public Service Commission. His term, he will start at the commission September 9th and serve a 6-year term through July 2025, so we're excited to welcome him on board. There's not enough tissues here to give for our friend and mentor Norm Sari. This is he's graciously agreed to stay on through the next commission meeting, and so we're delighted by that, and we'll have proper acknowledgement at that point when we have more tissues in place. So. And with that, our next commission meeting is scheduled for August 8th at 1:30 p.m. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Madam Chair, move for adjournment.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.